Hi, my name is Elise Halbrooks, and this is my first tech demo. So for the case study information is Mr. Washington wants his students to start an inquiry learning research project about how artists have used their work throughout history to represent contemporary social issues. So that is the student's main topic. The students will work together in small groups, and in the small groups they will work on a specific historical period and artist. They will read websites, printed sources, watch videos, look at books, look at art pieces, whatever, to get their information. And then the students will need to brainstorm, synthesize, and create a PowerPoint at the end to complete this project. So the goals for the project for Mr. Washington's class is to collaborate in the 3 phases in the brainstorming, the synthesizing, and creating aspect of the project. They will need to, Mr. Washington will need to use a formative assessment to make sure everything's going on track throughout the entire duration of the project. And then the students will give feedback on their work throughout each phase to each other. And Mr. Washington will also give feedback to the students. So the students, that goes with that synthesizing, that teamwork, collaboration, and then Mr. Washington will also give feedback. Some challenges that Mr. Washington is facing is that he needs to find a technology that can support all 3 kinds of collaborative thinking, and he needs to be able to see who has and who has not been contributing to the project, and how often they contribute. And then the last challenge is that students' work needs to be private within the group and him, but it also needs to be presentable to the entire class at the end of the project, because that's also part of the grading rubric. So what we are going to take a look at now is Google Chrome and all its not Google Chrome, Google Slides, because that is the technology I have chosen to use. So what you're going to do is you're going to open Google, and then it'll prompt you to sign in, but I'm already signed in. So now I'm going to go up to these dots up here. Then I'm going to go down to, where are my slides? Okay, just kidding. We'll search it. So we'll type in slides, and then pick the first one, and then go to slides. So right now it's going to come up with all of my slides I've done in the past, but we're going to click blank. And then, okay, so here's where the fun part begins. So, first, what you're going to do is title it. So I'm going to title mine History. Oh my goodness. History Project. And then that's in there. And then the second thing I'm going to do is look for a good theme to use. I kind of like to base my thing, like whatever my project is, I like to base my theme off it. But here you can look at your themes. You can pick whichever one you choose. Like I said, you can title it to really reinforce that creativity. You are able to, you can add a blank slide. There's a whole bunch of different kind of slides you can add. And then up here is, once you click, you can change your font size, bold, whatever you want to do to make it a little more fancy. And then Another part of Google Slides that's important is that you can insert literally anything that you want. So you can go image, then you can upload from the computer, or you can search the web, or you can go to your photos, drive, camera, whatever you prefer. Or you can insert more text box to add text wherever you please. You can insert all kinds of things. And then you have just that creative ability to do whatever you need to throughout Google Slides. Oh, one other cool thing. So I'm going to write history, and then you can actually over any highlighted word, you can double tap or tap with 2 fingers, and you come down to comment, and you're able to comment on anyone's work. So, and then you just press comment, and then it'll pop up as you see the words highlighted once you click on the text box. So, and then you can see the comment. The next thing that's great about Google Slides is that you can share. So I'm going to I'm going to share to I'm going to share to myself, but as you can see here, you can make each person, you can make them an editor, just a commenter, or just a viewer. So with the viewer, they can't edit anything. With comment, they can't edit, but they can like add a comment, they can add side notes. So editor, you can full access to the PowerPoint. And then you can also type them a message, because it'll shoot them an email through Gmail as soon as you would click send. So I'm going to share it with myself. And it's going to say access updated. Another good feature about Google Slides is that you can favorite it. So now if I go back to here, and so I did start it. So whenever I go to like my Google Drive, it'll pop up in my favorites or anything like that. You can also add transitions to go from slide to slide. So for this one, right now I currently have none, but I can have it have a cube effect. So if I went to slideshow, it should cube itself in. And then another good feature is that it saves automatically. So there's no need to hit save. So if like power goes out or you forget to save, like all the information's still there. And as long as you are online connected to Wi-Fi or internet, everything will still be there. And then it also shows the last edit. So here, you can see the last edit was seconds ago. If you click on it, it will tell you how many times this document has been edited. And it will also tell you who edits it. Then, lastly, you can, as I just showed you, you can form a slideshow. I just hit the slideshow, and there's nothing on my first page, but then it transitions into my history. And now if I were to tell Mr. Washington, give him this idea, I would start by delete that, and then it might be easier for Mr. Washington to it might be easier for him to give like prompt slides. So this one, you can write a title, and then by for his students, and then they can fill in the rest. Then add a new slide, and we'll just leave the theme out so the student can pick every theme they want. Here's title and body for our next, and we can put in, okay, so here we can put artist, and then the students can, maybe, artist, and then the students can fill in whichever artist they have, and leaving this blank canvas for them right now gives the student the ability to brainstorm and pick whatever theme they want, what colors, what fonts to make it interesting for them. So this gives them that brainstorming activity. And then we can also add next page for, I'm just doing the same layout for now, and if the students want, they can change it. Maybe put a picture on one side and then words on the other. So we can put their art. This can be their slide for art. And then another one, relation to social, maybe social issues. And then our next one can be a more information page. And then our last slide can be our references page. And then, so after Mr. Washington makes this up, then he can share it to all of his students, like I showed you how to do before. You can share that with the students so everyone can have access, including him. And then later on, once they're done with everything, they can hit this slideshow button. Start up here, slideshow button. Then they can click through it and present to their class without their class needing actual access to it. And then to help Mr. Washington with his challenges that he had, Google Slides supports all three of his ideas for the project. So it's the brainstorming, the synthesize, and the creating aspect. And then this last edit button will tell him who has contributed to the project at what time and how many total edits there have been. And then go back, and then it helps keep the project contained to the small group by just sharing it with them, and then you can edit who is the viewer, commenter, or editor. And not everybody in the class needs to have this PowerPoint then to be able to see it. And then after that, we're able to present to the whole class. So this is why I think Google Slides is the perfect solution to Mr. Washington's problems that he's run into, because it meets all his goals. And to go along with his goal of the formative assessment, we can add a blank slide. We're going to click blank, and add a blank slide at the end to give Mr. Washington's students a rubric, since that's what he'll probably go off by for a formative assessment. So this is all why I think Google Slides is the perfect solution for Mr. Washington.